I stand by what I've put in the title of this video, which is that this is quite a unique set of darts, maybe more so than any I've seen before, for one specific reason. It's come out of the latest mission launch, which has brought us some fantastic darts. One of the things that we're seeing at the moment with the changing of the cost of the darts, the changing of the cost of the tungsten, is the need for extra design. Now, one thing, these darts really do stand out for me. I really like these darts, not just because of the design and the cuts, but the shape as well. I've had a throw with these, and I'm actually going to trial something very similar to this shape. I reckon this could be maybe a Matt Edgar version 2 somewhere down the line. That little bit of a tapering towards the stem there just gives that bit of a push point and a reference as you go through. There are other darts as well. This is the Mirage, which actually when you twizzle it you can see why it's called a Mirage. I quite like it, how you sort of lose it within the colours. There's also a couple of other sets as well, including Cam Crabtree's version 2 as well. So there's quite a few darts coming out in the range. You can check them out at your leisure. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the most unique set I think I've seen so far this year. Now, I'm a big collector of things, so you know I'm going to love the box here. 95% tungsten, lovely embossing. These are probably going to live in this case and in this box, which actually I struggled with getting the foam off of. However, this is your unique set of darts. Now, can you see why I find that unique and different? Not because of the sword on the front of the box, but actually down to the design and the cuts that have come on the dart. Very, very unusual that we have a scallop towards the front of the barrel. Now, a scallop is traditionally used as a bit of a reference point, which is why it's unusual to be at the front, because it's in front of the centre of balance. Not many people actually grip in front of the centre of balance. Most people grip either on it or at the back. Now, I did ask my equipment guy, Zach Housen, if he's got any knowledge of similar darts that come like this, and he's sent me a message here with about 15 different darts that he can think of that has a front scallop. And as you know, Zach Housen is a darts designer. He literally looks at darts every single day. I could literally show him a single dart and he'd tell me exactly what name it is, what dart weight it comes in, who's made it, who's used it, everything about it. He's a proper darting nerd when it comes to equipment. And he can't name too many that actually have this. But on inspection, I actually thought this was quite different, because I'm looking at this thinking about gripping in this position to throw it here with the weight behind the dart. But then look at the back. You have the grippy section at the back of the throw. Now, the temptation here is to grip the dart on the scallop. However, if you go against the temptation and grip it as normal, what it does do is provide a scallop here for the finger. Now, when we think about the darts themselves, most of the time, in most cases, this is what propels the dart. The finger and the thumb will propel it through. Sometimes it comes from here with this finger up in the air. But the majority of the time, this is the thing that propels the dart through the air, which leaves these fingers purely for grip, stability, and support of the dart. In very rare situations, maybe Mervyn King, maybe Stephen Burton's darts, cases I can think of that have a bit of a reference point beyond a different grip pattern that allows you to have that finger sit inside the dart there. And I'm looking at this thinking, well, actually, you've got two potential grips here. You've got the opportunity to grip at the front. I'm not sure too many people will. And you've got the opportunity here to grip at the back and have that finger as a resting point in a scallop, which is very unusual. Now, looking at it, I am expecting if you do grip in that scallop, that it's going to be quite hard to get that angle of entry. So we're going to give it a go and see what it's like after having a throw. So this is with me throwing the darts, buying into that temptation of holding it in that scallop. Now, traditionally my darts will land flat. That's your usual, normal for me. So, but I do believe that most people who grip here, because it's in front of the balance, it's closer to the point, you're going to get very similar. Now, I've not even had a practice today, so I'm quite impressed with the fact I'm hitting trebles with these. Ignore that part though, they're not the important thing. We're looking at that angle, and actually they're quite controlled. You're getting no fishtailing here. Well, I'm certainly not, should I say. In regards to when I'm actually throwing and propelling these, they're actually travelling through quite well. And they're giving me that constant reference point. Now, I'm going to hold the finger and the thumb in the regular place and actually let my finger slot in that gap where the scallop is. And actually, that gives me some really great control. I'm actually just getting the darts, you can see there, just to stand up a little bit. And I'm actually loving the level of control and that reference point. And one thing I didn't quite notice is at the bottom of the scallop there, it just gives you the opportunity for the finger to slot up against that bulbous bit here. And it just gives you something to push against. So not only have you got the scallop, but you've also got the opportunity there. So you've got a reference point and a push point and grip at the back. Now one thing I am noticing is when I pass it from hand to hand, because I'm not used to doing this, it's actually taking me a little bit longer to do so, which over time will speed up, but also it's just giving me more control when I'm passing that dart across. I didn't think I'd be able to throw these, but I actually really like the way that they travel through the air. So what's the conclusion here? That's what I'm finding tricky. Unique darts. Are they going to suit everybody? Maybe not. Are they going to suit people that struggle with grip? Yes, 100%. Now, I think these are great because if you're one of those people that are sliding up and down the barrel, if you're finding it quite hard where to grip the dart, a dart like this is certainly going to help because you've got the reference point here at the back, you've got a reference point in the middle, and a lot of people now have grip on their points. And if you can see on here as well, don't know if you can with the equipment I use, don't know if it's, you can see there's also grip on the fitted points that come with these darts. So 3 different reference points, a push point. I'm finding it hard at the moment to sort of argue against these like I thought I would. I thought I'd be against this dart and I'm not. I also think that this is something that those people that are struggling a little bit with release may find quite useful. The Mission Saturn dart, for example, is a great dart for that because it gives you that sort of different feel to like a smooth dart. In fact, I've got it. So 3 different sort of scallops and references in there, sort of a tapering dart as it comes down. So it's easier for people that are struggling with grip, struggling with release. Sometimes even people with dartitis, things like this can help them as well because it just makes the dart feel different in the hand. I think you're going to certainly get that here with this dart. I'm not going to go into all the jargon and the tungstens and things because it's not a sales pitch, it's showing you something that's unique. So you can go check that out at your own leisure. But surprised and impressed. Unique.